All right. I have a live feed. Hopefully, we'll have some tribe to join me. Z's here, first one in the door. Yay. Good to see you. Just got tuned up. Thanks for tuning in. And Gene's here. Yay. Yeah, we're halfway through this volleyball tournament. So my voice has been getting a good workout too. It's loud in there. It's at the Civic Center. I know. The only reason I am is that I'm still trashed. We're only halfway through. It's an 8-day tournament. It's an international tournament, so players from the United States, Canada, and Mexico. It's not at the Civic Center. So for the last 4 days, it's been, I think, 11 to 13-year-old girls, and then the 15 to 19 started flying in today. So there are, if you've been to the, obviously, Comic-Con, so we're downstairs in the low level. So one huge ballroom is filled with nothing but these portable, see, when I get tired, I forget the name of people. I forgot what I'm doing. Volleyball. Yeah, so I'm going to forget names of things. Just be patient. Simple things like volleyball. So they're volleyball courts filled. An entire Civic Center. You can imagine one of those big rooms. The whole thing is full. Tomorrow, we have an upstairs and the downstairs. 2 full floors of, that's how many players are in there. So all their parents, coaches, and everybody else. So we have, I did this 4 years ago. I did the last 2 days of the event. This time I'm signed up for all 8, all day, every day. You can pick a morning or afternoon shift, and I said, you know what? I'm going to do the whole thing. And so my lead therapist, Kelsey, is also with me. My former instructor, Ellie, who checks in here, she's down there. And then my therapist, April, who I met at this event 4 years ago. So all 4 of us are in a row, and there's probably 12 therapists in our area when we're all there. So we do 10, 20, 30-minute or hour-long sessions. It's fully clothed on the table. You can bring all the instruments and stuff that you use. If you use scraping tools like I do, gua sha. I just bought a massage gun, like a Theragun, and so that's new to me. There's vendors everywhere. Sometimes you have a lull, and then sometimes you're just slammed. So yesterday, we had a lull in the afternoon, and then we just got slammed right up until 8 o'clock. So if you put in a full day there, we started showing up at 8 the first day, and it was just like crazy. So we've been going 9 o'clock. So we're working 10 to 11 and a half hour days. Sometimes you have some downtime, so you just lay on your table and stretch each other out and all that kind of stuff. It's wonderful. You get a percentage of the cost for the massage. It's all fully closed, so it's awesome. There's no draping involved. You don't have to waste time with that. And then you keep all your tips. So I made some good bank 4 years ago. So this time I'm doing all 8 days. So what we didn't know today was today's the final tournament day for the 11 to 14. Yeah, girls. So it's a half day because when a team gets eliminated, they start packing up and leaving. I've had a lot of clients from Los Angeles. There's a bunch of people from California in. Um, and a lot of them, once they get some neck work done or feet work, they come in the next day. I got there at just before 9 today, and a lady that I worked her feet yesterday was already waiting for me. I didn't even have time to drink my coffee. So I said, just can you give me 5 minutes? she wanted to jump ahead of the line, so which makes me feel good. One of the refs I worked on, he's had neck issues forever. He came and saw me about 3 days ago. I worked on his neck for 20 minutes or something like that. And I told him how to sleep properly that night. He said it's the first full night's sleep he's had in months. And so he's been coming to see me every day. So a lot of cool experiences, wonderful little stories. So we got released early at 3 o'clock today because it's the finals. So, and people start leaving. So we'll be back at it tomorrow. The older girls started showing up, walking up to the Civic Plaza. You can see them in the Civic Center, flying in from all over the place. They start tomorrow, so we're going to get hammered for the next 4 days. And I knew it'd been since Friday since I played, and I thought we were going to be working every day. I would not have played tonight, so we got off early, and I thought, I'll just come in and do a set. I've got laundry and stuff going. It's you meet some cool people here. I'm meeting therapists that I've never met before that are just fantastic, and I'll tell you a story after a little bit. That's the sweetest thing I've ever heard. In fact, our event director is the one. I met her years ago. She used to come to our school to recruit from Hand and Stone. She went to our school like 10 years ago, and she told me this story yesterday, and I'll tell it to you after a little bit when I get warmed up. But yeah, so these and the rest of me it has been. I need an Epsom salt soak, but I didn't want to soak because it softens my calluses before I played tonight. So I'll play as long as I can. I may not do an hour, maybe I will. But at least I'll get to bed early. And I'm a nocturne, and we've been taking the light rail. It's an hour from the very farthest east starting point at Gilbert Road and Main Street in Mesa. It's an hour downtown, but it saves all that gas fighting traffic. So that's been fantastic. So we're able to take the light rail, and so I haven't been getting home until like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night. Then I have to do laundry, second shift it's called, and wind down. And I'm a nocturne. I can't get to bed before 1 or 1:30, and I've had to be up at like 6:40 is the latest. I got it dialed in, and it takes me a while to fall asleep. So my body has not had the rest it needs, and I'm not recovering very well. But today we got released early, and I'm still trashed, but I have time. I got laundry going now, and I'm gonna play some music for you fine people, so I don't have to wait so long. Because unless we get released early Sunday, we'll be working right up to Sunday. It's 8 straight days, so it is brutal, but you make some good money and you meet some cool people. Some of them are local here, and I've given them my cards, so they're going to come find us. And one other thing, so when I carry a little extra baggage around my midsection, which I've been, when I start losing weight, that goes down, and so does this. So I don't know if you can tell, but you can see my jawline more. I've probably lost at least 5 pounds in the last 4 days just from massaging. So that's not a bad thing. Yeah, I was trashed today, but I'm a military guy, like Kevin and Dave, and you just find a way to suck it up and show up for people and do what you're there to do, and then you just take. I've got reserves. As an Ironman triathlete, I've got a deep well. pull into, no matter how I'm feeling. Coffee is a natural painkiller, so they've got all kinds of vendors there with food, and I just keep getting the coffee refill all day long, so that helps me. Anyway, so I'm glad you're here. Glad you saw that post. As soon as we found out we were being released at 3 instead of 8 o'clock, I put that post up. So I was hoping somebody would see it. Yeah, those club tournaments. This is a major international event. It's huge. It's just absolutely massive. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm doing that. Dave says, Pleasant surprise. Yep, I'm Kev. I'm here, dude. Yep. So hopefully you jumped in and heard the explanation. That's why I decided to do something rather than nothing, because I knew I was going to be home in time. I've been home since a little after 5, like 5:30. So it's like, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and not play music when I can, because I enjoy it. So I haven't played guitar since we were together last, but that's okay. I have enough reserves there too. Short set, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to get some rest. Kevin says Dave is right. All right. Well, thank you so much. You're an awesome tribe. Maybe we'll see if Ellie checks in tonight. We've had a good time. So let's. I don't know if I need to warm my vocals up. It's so loud in there. You got to talk kind of loud with your clients when they come up. So for the last 4 days, my vocals they've got a pretty good workout. So have my hands. So they should be guitar playing ready. Hear the clock, 6 a.m. It feels so far from where I've been. I've got my eggs, I got my pancakes too. Got my maple syrup, everything but you. Rake the yolks and make a smiley face. And I kinda like it in my brand new place. I wipe the spots off the mirror, don't leave the keys in the door. I never put wet towels on the floor anymore, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. I know you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me. I was meant for you. Called my mom, but she was out for a walk. Consoled a cup of coffee, but I didn't want to talk, so I picked up the paper. It was more bad news. Our hearts being broken, more people being used. Put on my coat and warned me. I saw a movie, it just wasn't the same, 'cause it was happy, I was sad, yeah. It only made me miss you so bad. God, dreams last so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, I go about my business and doing fine. Besides, what would you say if I had you on the line? Same old story, nothing much to say. Hearts are broken every day. Hey. Brush my teeth, put the cat back on. I know you hate it when I leave the light on. I pick a book up and turn the sheets down, yeah. I take a good long look around, put on my PJs and hop into bed. Not half alive, but I feel mostly dead. I try and tell myself it'll be alright. I shouldn't think any more tonight, 'cause dreams last so long, even after you're gone. And I know that you love me, and soon I know you will see you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, you were meant for me, and I was meant for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. Well, my voice is lower, but I don't even have to sing as hard. Like the projection, I don't know if that comes through different, but I'm not even up in the volume. The projection is just there. My vocal cords have a good workout. In addition to my hands, my tools, and the rest of my body. But it's all good. It's fun to work. We were encouraged to get out and work events. This one's, of course, paid because I'm licensed. When I was in school, get a chance to meet other people, other therapists in the community, get to meet some cool people, give out cards, hopefully bring in some business. And it's just different. It gets you out of the office, which I love my office. And the husband and wife that I leased my office space from at Roots Chiropractic, Doctors Lauren and Michael Wood. They're awesome people. But it's nice to get out of, like all of us, get out of your space a little bit, do something different. So it's really loud in there. Tons of yelling, tons of clapping, games going on. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work. It's pretty brutal. But we're halfway through. So, and I'm so glad we got released early today, since the finals for the younger age group are happening. So I could at least play some music tonight and take a break from the last 8 days, or last 4 days, and of this 8-day tournament, and say hello to you folks. So welcome to this midweek edition, Wind Down Wednesday. And we'll play some songs. Well, I don't know you, but I want you all the more for that. And words fall through me and always fool me, and I can't react. And games that never amount to more than they're meant will play themselves out. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You'll make it now. Falling slowly, eyes that know me, and I can't go back. And moves that take me and erase me, and I'm painted black. Well, you have suffered enough and warred with yourself. It's time that you won. Take this sinking boat and point it home. We've still got time. Raise your hopeful voice. You have a choice. You make it now. Falling slowly, sing your melody. I sing aloud. Oh, oh. I paid the cost too late. Now you're gone. Oh, yay. All right. A little soundtrack music there from that Irish independent movie Once, little Glenn Hansard. For this edition of Wind Down Wednesday. So glad you're here. Any new check-ins? Gene says, well, my night's complete. Yay! Request before it's requested. Well, while we're on that vein, well, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you, but what I've got to say can't wait. I know you'd understand, but every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kind of strange, but every time I'm here, I just run out of things to say. I know you'd understand, but every time I try to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. But every time the time was right on, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. Yeah, I know it's kind of late. I hope I didn't wake you, but there's something that I just gotta say. I know you'd understand, but every time I tried to tell you, the words just came out wrong. So I'll have to say I love you in a song. All right, another little request before it was requested, which I love. Let's see. Kuipo, I love you more today, more today than yesterday. But I love you less today, less than I will tomorrow. See the sweet Hawaiian rose, see it blossom, see it grow. That's the story of our love. Ever since we said hello, oh, I love you more today, more today than yesterday. But I love you less today, less than I will tomorrow. As the years go passing by, we'll recall our wedding day. I will be there by your side. You will always hear me say, oh, I love you more today, more today than yesterday. But I love you less today, less than I will tomorrow. Ku'u'ipo, ku'u'ipo, you're my Hawaiian sweetheart. Ku'u'ipo, ku'u'ipo, you're my Hawaiian sweetheart. Oh, and a little bit of Elvis request before it was requested. Dave says, thanks. There's a double shot for you and Nita. You're welcome. Can't leave out Kev, so this is for Kev and Jeannie. I like playing this Elvis song for them. So we're doing a double shot of Elvis as well. How many girls choose cotton-dressed words when they could have satin and lace, and stand by her man, never once letting shame touch her face? And how many hearts could live through all the winters we've known and still not be cold? True love travels on a gravel road. Love is a stranger and hearts are in danger on smooth streets paved with gold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. Now through the years we have hard times and tears, they only helped our love grow, and we'll stay together no matter how strong the wind blows. Not once have I seen your blue eyes fill with envy or stray from the one that you hold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. Love is a stranger and hearts are in danger on slow streets paved with gold. Oh, true love travels on a gravel road. True love travels on a gravel road. True love travels on a gravel road. that song. Oh, my vocals feel good and strong tonight. And on that one, that's good. Kat says, thanks, song always stirs up great memories of my folks. Oh, I'm so glad. I sing it for you and Jean. Because you were gone a lot on deployment. She was there. She was that rock, that foundation, and all that's happened since and all that, and you guys are still together. I was there on your wedding day. And those are my memories, and I'm glad because as Springsteen always talks about, songs, they take on different meaning over time. In this case, they can take on different meaning in the same moment. And so for you, that brings back memories of your folks. And I always think of you and Gene with that. So I'm so glad. I'm glad Elvis recorded it. I'm glad I discovered it 2 years ago after I got my replacement car. I have Sirius XM. Channel 75, Elvis. That's where I first heard that song. It's great. I'm feeling good, so. Anytime I've mentioned before you see me do this, in the middle of a song, I'm stretching out my erectors, the muscles along my spine that are supposed to keep you straight up. So mine are pretty trashed at the moment. So they have been lately, as even before I started this tournament, I kind of got in there already trashed. So I've been working a lot, which I love. So I'm the oldest one there too, by the way, which I also love. On the staff or at the tournament, I love being the eldest therapist. I don't know why. It makes me feel good. I'm still doing stuff younger people do. And my slowly advancing age. But it's keeping me as young as I can be. So, and pretty fit too, I'll tell you that. So this is not easy work. But it's very satisfying. It called me. No explanation still where that happened over 13 years ago. The idea that I showed up to school, and by the second week of school, wondering why the heck I'm there, I finally realized it came to me. I mentioned this recently. Been playing guitar since I was 9. I have a natural feel for the guitar and strings, and so I have a natural feel for tissue, even though I didn't have any training. But I do now. So anyway, I'm glad to be here tonight. Let's see. Let's see what my muse encourages me to play. Some more Steve Poltz. How about that? Well, I love everything about you. I love the way you comb your hair. I love the way you sashay in the room. Your perfume lingers in the air. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. I love the way you lick your lips there. You got fireworks in your head. I love the way you bring me water. When I'm thirsty in your bed. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. You were surely kissed by angels. Just Look at the freckles on your face. You got the devil in your eyes. You disappear without trace. Well, I love sneaking up behind you when you're looking in the mirror. The way your eyes walk into mine, dear. Without guilt and without fear, I love everything about you. Whoa, not you. I love everything about you. Whoa, about you. All right. I'm not going to end on a song. I'm going to end on a story. And no one else has checked in here. So unless they watch it on the repeat, which is highly unlikely, you're the only ones that are going to get to hear this tonight. Thanks for tuning in, too, on such short notice. Yesterday. So 2 tables over from mine is this big mocha skin brother named Jordan. And he used to be a power lifter, and he looks like a NFL lineman. He's huge, and he's got this great smile and laugh, and he's massive. And so it's a girls tournament, as I mentioned, teenage girls, 2 age groups. Older group starts tomorrow. So this guy, he's a Hispanic guy, comes with a son, and he's probably like 5'9", and he's got a great, fantastic build. It's like, man, that's the kind of body I want to have again. You can tell he's all natural. He ends up being 53 years old. He's amazing shape. So Jordan takes the father for 20 minutes, and then his 8-year-old son comes to me, and he's just this sweet boy, and he's got these orange and brown curls. It's awesome. And so I got him up at my table, and I said, so you have 20 minutes, what are we doing? He goes, oh, my neck and kind of my back here. And he goes, and do some pounding, that pounding, do some of that. And he's obviously had a massage, so I figured out, that's called tapotment. That's the technical term. So pound like this, you can chop, all kinds of different ways of doing it. It's kind of a stimulating, invigorating part of massage. So he gets on my table, and I start working on his back and stuff, and I'm talking to him a little bit, and so I'm asking him, so I said, are your sisters here playing? So he has 3 older sisters, and one of his sisters is playing in the tournament. So he's there to watch with his family, and so we get talking, and I said, well, do you play sports? And he goes, yeah. He goes, I said, what do you do? And he says, I like, I told you when I'm tired, I forget the name of people and things. Not bebop, but hip hop. He goes, I do hip hop, dancing, and tennis. So already I can tell, and he's a sweet little guy, and I'm like, there's something about this, about him, and so then I start doing the tapotment, and he goes, I said, is this the pounding you were talking about? He goes, yeah. And he says, are you using your hands? And I said, yeah. And he goes, wow. He goes, I thought it was one of those pounding machines. So he's talking about a Theragun, which is I just bought one, so it's a big massage gun. You pull the trigger, brrr, and it vibrates. So I asked him if he's had a massage, and he said, yeah, at the Nash. So the Nash is a music venue in downtown Phoenix. So he must have gone there where they were probably doing seated chair massage, for $5. And so, but he thought that I was using one of those guns. And so anyway, um, before he walked up to me, he had a big ice cream cone because they have vendors there, and it was about halfway done. He's trying to find a place to put it, and he ended up throwing it away in the trash can. So we do the session. I walk him back over to his dad, and I get talking to his dad about, man, how do you look so great? How do you train? And it's all basic stuff. And so we talked about that for a while. So later, I was up front at the desk where you come up to pay, and our event director, who I love, I told you earlier. So she tells me this story. She said he came up here with that ice cream cone, and then she walked him back to me, and she didn't see him till it was done. So when they were finished, she asked the little boy, so did you eat your ice cream? And he goes, no, I threw it away. She says, but he said, but it's okay. That massage was better than ice cream. And I looked at Danny, I looked at her, and I said, so did you massage him? And she goes, no, he was talking about you. And I told his dad, your son's the youngest client I've ever had. I've had teenagers, but nobody under the age, nobody under double digits. So this sweet little 8-year-old boy threw his ice cream away because he had no place to put it, and he said that my massage was better than ice cream. And Danny looks at me and she says, you need to put that on your back of your shirt. Have that stenciled on the back of your shirt. Oh my gosh, that's the nicest compliment anybody's ever given me. So I got talking to his dad, and Danny, our event director, she was there too, and she said, your son is just, like, the way he talks, his vocabulary, everything, and the father says, he finished 3rd grade, and on the last day, the teacher said to me, I've never had an 8-year-old that can carry on a conversation with 3 adults at the same time. I mean, and I looked at him and I said, I think he's an old soul. And Danny says, he absolutely is. So that happened yesterday. That, we're going to have to do something with that saying. So we've been using that. we've been tossing that around. That's the neatest little thing I've ever had happen. Amy's here. Hey, I'm just, Z says, great story. You need to put that on the back of your shirt. Yeah. Amy, did you catch that story? We're halfway through the tournament. It's 10 to 11 and a half hour days of massage at this international volleyball tournament. It's 8 days. So we got released early today because the 11 to 14-year-old girls got done, and then the 15 to 19s flew in starting today, and so the next 4 days is their tournament. So we didn't realize when we showed up today that it was only going to be till 3 o'clock because the finals and the tournament was done. So that's why I put up my banner that I'm going live. I'll retell it so you don't have to watch it on repeat. So I was just telling the tribe, so my body's just like trashed. It's so much work, 8 straight days, and I'm a nocturne, and I can't get to bed before 1 or 1:30, which Amy understands. And I've got to be up by 7:40 in the morning to catch the light rail. So, oh my God, it's just no, 6:40 to catch the light rail, which is an hour trip each way to downtown Phoenix to save gas and stuff. Anyway, so I was just telling them. So I finished a song, and I said, I'm not going to end on a song. I'm going to end on a story that happened yesterday. I had so many stories. There's like 12 of us in this area doing massage and stuff, and it's brutal, but it's worth it. It's good money. It's tips. I'm getting out some cards to local people. I told the tribe, kind of funny at the beginning, I said, so, I carry a little spare change along my waist, but when I lose it, and I've lost probably 5 pounds in the last 4 days, the first place you notice it is around my midsection, and the next place you notice it is my neck and jawline. So I told, nobody said anything. I said, I don't know if you can tell. I can tell. I'm a little leaner, and that's not a bad thing. So So yesterday, Amy, the sweetest thing happened to me. So one of the other therapists, Jordan, he's this big mocha skin brother, and he used to power lift. He looks like an NFL lineman. He's massive. He's a massage therapist. He's got a big laugh. He's got a heart as big as his chest. This great guy. We just hit it off immediately. So it's an international tournament from Canada, Mexico, the United States, and it's girls, teenage girls from 11 to, I keep saying 15, no, 11 to 14. And then that was the first 4 days. The next 4 days, starting tomorrow, they've been flying the days, 15 to 19-year-old girls. So so this guy comes up with his son. And Jordan takes the father, and he's probably like 5'9". He's Hispanic, and he's all natural, you can tell, but he's got a great bodybuilder's body. Kind of like when I was younger, and I was like, oh man, I got to talk to that guy. He looks amazing. So our event director, Danielle Danning, she walks this young boy over to me. He's got this half-eaten ice cream cone. He's the sweetest little guy. He's got this orange and red curly hair, and he's walking around trying to find a place to put his ice cream. And there's no place to put it, so he goes and throws it in the trash, and he comes back to my table. And so I get him on the table, and I said, so your dad bought you 20 minutes, and his dad's 2 tables over from me with Jordan. And I said, so what do you want? What do you want to work on? And he goes, oh, my neck. And he goes, kind of here in my back. He goes, do some of that pounding, that pounding. And so I told the others, that's called tapotement. So it's at the end of an invigorating massage. Massage therapists will use this fleshy part of their hands, pounding, just kind of tapotement like that, or you can use your hands slapping, that kind of stuff. It's kind of done just to kind of finish out a session, especially for pre-event sports massage. So I said, oh, so you've had a massage before? And he goes, yeah, once at the Nash, and the Nash is a music venue in downtown Phoenix. So, but somebody probably had like seated chair massage for $5. So he just called it pounding. Do some of that pounding. So his back and his neck. So I got him on my table, and I was working on him and stuff, and I finished up some stuff on his back, and sweet little 8-year-old boy, and I was talking to him. I said, so who do you have competing here? Because it's an all-girls tournament. And he goes, oh, well, my sister is, and he's got 3 older sisters. He's the youngest. He's 8. And so I said, do you play any sports? And he goes, yeah, hip-hop dancing and tennis. So I can already tell there's something special, different about him. And he had a really sweet disposition. I'm like, that's an unusual combination. So we got talking about that kind of stuff and music and hip-hop music. And I said, I don't listen to a lot of hip-hop, but Dr. Dre, and he started talking about a couple other bands that I knew. And I said, I love LL Cool J. He didn't remember LL Cool J because he's young. Anyway, so we get down off the table, and then I walk him over to where his dad is with Jordan. They just finished, and got to talk a bit and asked his dad about his workout routine and his diet. It's all just basic stuff. So that's $1 billion industry, by the way, and it's really basics. The key to all of that is fitness and nutrition, as I know, having been an Ironman triathlete, is just consistency. You have to be consistent. So I talked to his dad. So they leave, and I'm up front talking to Danny, our event director, and she said, oh no, before they left. So she's talking to the father, and I think the boy's off somewhere else, and Danny says to me, your son is so sweet. I asked him when it was done, when the massage was done, so did you finish your ice cream? And he goes, no. And he's very articulate and expressive. And so Danny's repeating back what he said to her. He goes, no, I had to throw it away. But it's okay. That massage was better than ice cream. And I didn't connect the dots. So I said to Danny, I said, so did you massage him too? She goes, no, he was talking about you. And I went, what? And I turned to his father and I said, I just want to let you know, that's the youngest client. I've had teens with their parents present, but I've never had a youngster like that. So 8 years old, and I said, your son was the youngest client I've ever had, and he was just so adorable. And Danny says, yeah, there's something about your son, the way he presents and stuff. And the father said, when he finished 3rd grade, the last day of school, his teacher said to me, this is the father speaking, I've never met an 8-year-old that can carry on a conversation with 3 adults at the same time. And I said, I think he's an old soul. And Danny's been licensed for a long time. And she goes, oh yeah, he definitely is. And Danny said, you need to put that on the back of your shirts. Massage is better than ice cream. So we've been toying around with that. I told my lead therapist Kelsey and my former instructor Ellie, she checks in, but not tonight because she's trashed and tired too. And they said, "Oh yeah, we got to do something. You got to do something with that." So I said, "That's the biggest compliment I've ever gotten from a little nice little 8-year-old boy to tell our event director that it was okay he threw his ice cream away because that massage was better than ice cream." I swear, I've never heard anything like that. That's made me feel so happy, and uh, and the father was just great. He answered my questions about his bodybuilding routine. He's 53 and he just looks incredible. He looks amazing, all natural. Just everything's put together in the right places. And so I've been telling him about my journey back soon to get back in the gym and doing strength training. And I said, man, that you just look amazing, like fantastic. And he goes, oh, I'm kind of slacking on my diet a little bit right now. And he's like, no fat. He looks great. So that was a one of many stories, but that's my favorite. And that little boy was the sweetest little guy. Danny was so impressed. He and his father said he's 8 going on 38. He is. He's an old soul. He's an old soul. And he just, he likes hip hop dancing and piano and tennis, and he was the nicest little guy, but he said, do some of that pounding. So I knew he meant Topotment. And then he said, are you using your hands? And I said, yeah, I'm using my hands. He goes, oh, I thought it was one of those pounding machines. Meaning, I just bought one of these for the first time. A massage gun. So I'm kind of slow when it comes to new modalities. Like I just got trained months ago in scraping, which is gua sha, to help with fascial release. So I don't just jump into anything. I really have to have a need for it in my practice. And those save these, which have been hurting. So guitar playing is good active recovery. So he thought I was using one of those when I was just doing Topotment with my hands. And that was so funny. Chopping, pounding, and that kind of stuff. So that's my favorite story. There's nobody that's going to be able to beat that. Rennell's here. Third time's a charm. Rennell, did you hear any of that story? I'm going to have to repeat it. Rennell's a licensed massage therapist. She went to my school. I was a TA for her and her clinic manager. Did you hear that story? I'll repeat it. I'm not ending on a song tonight. I'm ending on a story. I've told it twice. I told it to the first group, then Amy checked in, and I had to tell it to her. And now you're here, I'm going to have to retell it. I don't want you to hear it on the repeat. You heard the whole thing? Oh, I knew you would appreciate that, because you're dual licensed, actually. Rennell's a licensed esthetician forever, and a licensed massage therapist. That is the sweetest thing. I don't think anybody's ever going to be able to say, give me a better compliment than an 8-year-old boy telling our event director, it's okay, I had to throw away my ice cream. There was no place to put it because that massage was better than ice cream. And then Danny, our event director, she said to me, you got to put that on a shirt. So I'll have to do that. Amy says you could write a song about that. Sweet. Yeah. Oh, he was adorable. He was just the nicest little kid with the brightest smile. You can see there's a lot of light behind that. And then his dad says, yeah, he's 8 going on 38. His 3rd grade teacher at the end of the school year said, I've never met an 8-year-old that can carry on a conversation with 3 adults at the same time. Like on an adult level. Like it was just amazing. That was yesterday, so that was my favorite story. So yeah, so I wasn't going to go live because it's 8 straight days of 10 to 11 and a half hours. And I did this 4 years ago. That's where I met my wonderful therapist, April, who went to my school like 8 years before I did. And Rennell. But we finished early today and got released at 3 instead of 8 or 8:30 like the last 3 nights because the 11 to 14-year-old girls finished up their tournaments today, their championship. So all the 15 and 19-year-olds were flying in and started to show up at the convention center. So that's the next 4 days. It's going to be brutal. But it was worth it. I loved having clients coming back the next day that said, oh, you helped my neck or this and that. I want to get back on your table. And so I had a lot of those. So did the others. So there's like 12 of us when we're all there. Get a chance to meet new therapists. It's a great community. Gets me out of the office. Get to pick up a few clients that are local. Most of them are from LA, Canada, and Mexico are there. So it's international. So Instead of just the one big room at the convention center tomorrow, is going to be 2 floors worth of that. So we're going to have a lot of work. So I knew that I was not going to be here Friday, and unless they get released early Sunday, I'm probably not going to be. So I thought this is a good night to throw a banner up, which they told us we'd be done at 3 o'clock, and at least play some music, and I get to end on that story. So yeah, it was really sweet, Renell. It was that was yesterday. That was so nice. The dad was so nice. Great bodybuilder's body, and we got to talk and meeting new therapists like my friend Jordan. Looks like an NFL lineman, big mocha skin dude. He went to Sweet Haw, but he had a lot of classes from John Sanders. We've been talking about John Sanders a lot. I got to get a picture with Jordan and myself, and I'm going to send it to John tomorrow and go, hey, I made a new friend. We've been talking about you. ... Small community. Wonderful community. Great to meet new therapists. Great to help people. Easy because it's all clothed. 10, 15, 10, 20, 30-minute, or even hour massage. But it's all clothed. No draping. It's really easy to do. So I picked this up. This is what he thought. If you saw me hold this up, he said, oh, I thought you were in that pounding machine. So that'll be something new for me to add in. So anyway, it's a lot of fun. So I wanted to share that story. Sir John, that's what I call him. I love that I'm a month older than him. I always wanted an older brother. And he always talks about, he's the oldest guy and stuff. And it's like, yeah, he's junior to me by 30 days. I just love that. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, all right, gang. Yeah, thanks for being so nice at the beginning, saying I'll just do a short set. But, once I get going, my body's beat the hell. It just is. But it's the getting up early too. I don't get enough rest. I can't get to bed before 1 or 1:30. I'm a lifelong nocturne, which Amy's a nocturne. She understands. But it's what you do for a short period of time. You put a finite period of time. You put a massive amount of energy. I've always known this for years. That's how you create shift and change. And so in your life. And so as I mentioned, I probably lost 5 pounds. So I have a little bit more of my camera's all backwards. Jawline, I lose it off the waist, and I lose it off my neck, which is not a bad thing. So anyway, probably lost 5 pounds in the last 4 days, so that's good. We'll see what the next 4 days brings. Anyway, so I wanted to at least go live. I could tell you that we're going to be doing more of the same up until Sunday, unless they release a Sunday because of the tournament finishes and the championships for the 15 to 19-year-old girls is done. If they do that, I'll be back Sunday. But if not, it probably won't be until next Wednesday. So I wanted to at least go live and do something. And I can't not just play. So thanks for showing up. Even if you showed up toward the end. Thanks for letting me finish with a story instead of a song. That was a beautiful story. That was so nice. I don't think anybody's going to be able to top that. That massage was better than ice cream. From an 8-year-old. I'm going to have to put a Facebook banner up. I was saying that last night, and I got laundry going when I got home last night. I didn't get home until almost 10:30. So yesterday was 11 and a half hours long. And then laundry, and then try to eat something. I was so tired I didn't even want to eat. And then try to get up on 5.5 hours of sleep. So tonight's better. So, I'm maybe create now that you've heard that story, that's what I should do. Create a banner, but I'm not going to explain it. I'm just going to put that quote, and then at the bottom underneath it, with a slash, and then go 8-year-old boy or 8-year-old child, and then you guys will know what that's about. No one else has heard that here. Only Ellie, my former instructor who checks in here, and my lead therapist Kelsey of my tribe, they were there. No one else knows about that. I mean, other than the people that were there, but nobody in the tribe will get that. You guys are the only ones that have heard it. And I doubt if anybody's going to watch this on repeat. Unless you just want to hear the story again. So, all right, I'm done talking. I'll stop now and get you out of here. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for letting me share that story a couple times. It was so awesome. That was just a nice memory. So cool. Nice little... And a father and son. I've had many couples massages with like moms and daughters and that kind of stuff and Mother's Day things and all of that. But this was the first, even though my friend Jordan was working on the father. It was a father-son massage at the same time for 20 minutes. And it produced that story that Danny filled me in on when we were done. She told me the rest of it. I never would have known that. So that just makes me smile. He was the sweetest little guy. Oh, all right. Um, Happy Hump Day. Thanks for checking out on this Wind Down Wednesday, and as always, namaste. The divinity in me recognizes and honors the divinity in you. Thanks for keeping yourselves healthy, those immune systems bolstered up. Thank you so much for being my tribe. I love you all. Thanks for giving me space to share the music. Thanks for listening to me jabber on about something sweet that happened. Hope that inspires you to enjoy your day and that the same kind of interaction happens with you. So, I usually say I will be back on Fiesta Friday, which I'm sure I won't be. I'll let you know. I'll put up a banner. Thanks for watching my page, and hopefully they just pop up automatically so you can see the my banners as things change in my life. Suddenly they're fluid. It's like, oh, I wasn't going to be here. Now I am. Um, so, and he says, thanks for the smile. You're welcome, Z. You too. Yep. Thank you so much. All right. Have a great rest of your midweek day. Slide into your weekend. I will be back when I can. I'll let you know as soon as I know. If not Sunday, we'll look forward to seeing each other next week. Hopefully not too long, though. Anyway, namaste. Have a great rest of your night.